We finally made it to Chaos Sanctuary in Hell difficulty on the FoH pally. Is it going to be any better? Let's find out. Oh, boys! What's up, YouTube? Winterguard here. So we got the FoH pally finally up to Chaos Sanctuary, Act 4. I have actually not completed Hell difficulty. I decided to just stop here. My whole goal with the FoH pally was to farm Chaos Sanctuary, to be perfectly honest. Pits is another great area, but Chaos was my end goal. I've always been a fan of farming Chaos Sanctuary, so that's what we're going to look at here. I've got 100 runs in, and be perfectly honest, and I realize this is just RNG, but the drops have definitely been better than my sorceress, so we're going to be running this for a little bit, just see how things play out. Playing FoH on 2.4 update was pretty fun. I got to be perfectly honest, I was a little late to the party. I knew it was going to be good, but it was kind of a toss-up between starting this character as my first on ladder and the sorceress, and I went with the sorceress. I kind of regretted it a little bit. Not to say that I've always enjoyed playing the sorceress, but being that it's kind of a new setup for 2.4, so I probably made a little bit of a mistake going out of the gate with the sorceress. There is a speed advantage with the sorceress, but leveling was actually a little more difficult than I thought. And speaking of leveling, you probably should realize that with this build, you're not going to be leveling out of the gate with it. Holy Bolt only affects demons and undead, so in certain areas you're just going to struggle if that's what you're dumping your points into. I leveled with Holy Fire and Zeal up to Act 4 in Nightmare, where fire starts to become an issue. You could go a couple of different directions in this. I chose to start at this point using Fist of the Heavens. Not a great choice. I still struggled in various areas. You probably can either switch to Holy Shock Zeal or maybe just reset to hammers to finish out and then switch to Fist of the Heavens if that's what you want to play. So I did slow myself down a little bit there, but outside of that, it's worked pretty good. So let's look at the setup and the tree, and then we'll look into the runs and see how the first 100 went in Chaos. So at this point, this is actually after the 100 runs, so I'm at level 89. So we did a lot of leveling in Pits before pushing forward. Pits was just a cakewalk, starting at around level 60. I probably put about 10 levels in Pits, and it was just easy mode. So this is kind of the setup I went with, and there's some spin-offs in this and some hybrid builds. You can go like I've seen people going Fist of the Heavens Smite. I've heard of Fist of the Heavens with Zeal, a Zeal setup. I've even heard some people messing around with mixing in hammers. I'm thinking that's splitting damage too much, so I don't know how optimal that would be. I am building into, I've actually got all the synergies maxed for Fist of the Heavens already, so I'm dumping into Smite for Ubers. But basically, you max Fist of the Heavens, max Holy Bolt as one of the synergies. The other synergy is Holy Shock, and as you can see, the Holy Shock is for the lightning damage, which is the single target attack. And Holy Bolt is, of course, what spreads from the single target towards any nearby enemies. Holy Bolt hits really hard. This is actually where your damage is going to be. So then you max Holy Bolt. Now, you don't want to dump any points into prayer. That's just for healing. If you're running in strictly groups, that might be helpful. But as you can see, the other synergy is Fist of the Heavens, so these synergize each other. Don't bother with prayer. I did max Holy Shock just to get that single target damage up a little bit. Then I went Conviction. So this is another direction where you might want to there's a couple options. I'm running Act 1 Merc with Insight, so I don't have any mana issues, so Conviction is my play. Now you can go into maybe Redemption to recharge if you want to run like Act 5 Merc or the Act 2 Merc but not with Insight. Maybe some other build. Maybe you can do that and run Redemption to get your mana back. I'm doing the Act 1 Merc Insight, so I'm taking advantage of at least the single target damage with Conviction. Bunch of different ways. You can go Salvation, maybe up the Merc's damage. There's a couple different plays here, so there's some variability in this build. But it's been a lot of fun. You are limited in your farming areas, of course. I did this because I like farming Chaos. And in pits, it's 100% effective in pits, 100% effective in Chaos Sanctuary, and there's a few other areas where the mix is going to be Demon or Undead, and you could run this build. Obviously, cows, you're not going to hurt anything except with single target attacks, so kind of pointless there. So this is a little more focused. Travancore, another place you could do the council there. Mephisto, you can do that. I'm not a fan of Mephisto running, so I kind of bypassed that. But again, my goal was Chaos, and that's where we're at now, and that's what we're going to look at as far as drops. But gear-wise, here's where I settled out at, and there's where I'm at right now. Nothing spectacular. I'm still running Tarnhelm. I got this kind of early. Just doing it for the magic find. I'm running a Guardian. I'm going to try and switch this out for Viper at some point. I did get a Vex rune, so I was able to make a Hodo. It only rolled a 33, so nowhere near perfect, but it's a good start. Now the Haas I found with my Sorceress, so I did get lucky and get a 198 Haas early, so I had that sitting. Still running Nokazan, Train Gloves for cast rate, which we'll talk about in a second. A Nagel, an upped Gold Wrap for some more magic find, a Raven Frost, and just some rare boots. I actually don't have a Geeds on this guy right now. Mixture just random charms, nothing special here. And of course a Nihilus or Dime a Dozen at this point, so easy to put one there or get one of those. I need the Torch, and that'll kind of fill out the charm area, and then we'll start replacing smalls or whatnot. So as far as what I was talking about, faster cast rate. The breakpoints you want for Paladin just in general, if you're a caster build, is 75, and then it jumps to 125. Now right now I'm at 60. I want to hit the 75 breakpoint, but it's not actually for Fists of the Heavens. Fists of the Heavens has a cast delay, so regardless how much FCR you have, you're not going to increase the cast rate on Fists of the Heavens. But for single target attack with Holy Bolt and for teleporting, you want to hit that at least that 75 breakpoint just to speed those casts up. Now I'm only using right now. I only have a Naj on Switch just for teleporting. End goal, of course, is to get to Enigma here for teleport. We want the Shaco here. Probably if we get a Viper in the interim, we can probably hit our breakpoint at that. But once we get to Enigma, we're going to have to mix it up a little bit and try to get to the 75 breakpoint. The 125 is kind of, I mean, if you want to push that, you can. I don't see the need for it. 75 is plenty fast enough. But yeah, there's some couple options here that we still need to fill out. I like having the Raven right now, but it's not necessary for running Chaos. So we'll probably maybe switch this out. We'll probably have to go double FCR ring or mix in an Arax at some point to get to 75. But we got a few options out there, so that's what we're looking at right now. But let's go ahead and get to the compilation. We'll talk a little bit more afterwards. Go over what dropped and what we plan on going forward. If you enjoyed this type of video, give me a like and subscribe. My link to Discord, or you can reach me just about any time, is in the description, as well as my streaming schedule. You can catch me at least 3-4 times a week and hang out. We have a great time in chat while we kill stuff, so you can get me there as well. Let's get into the compilation. All right, as you guys can see, that went extremely well. Um, for 100 runs, we got 2 high runes. And when I was talking about the Hodo, I made that with the first Vex rune that dropped, so I still have one other that I'm holding on to now. Also, I have not put it on since I got it literally on one of the last runs. So we now have a Shaco. We will go ahead and socket that and put another perfect topaz in that. Grab another 24 magic find. Well, I might ist it. I don't know yet. Well, I don't think ist has. No, it does. 1 point, if you want to min max, you could put it in the helmet. But at least a perfect topaz for the helmet. What else did we get? I mean, we got a good smattering of items. The Drax, definitely hanging on to those for when I start running Ubers. You kind of want to hang on to a pair of Drax for the chance of life tap. That really helps out. But definitely better runs than my Sorceress. So I'm pretty happy with that. We did fairly well for 100 runs. Oh, and also, kind of as an aside, as you're leveling, you can do this with Spirit, dual Spirit, if you don't have a Haas, Spirit Shield, and Sword. Since you're not having to worry about grabbing the 4-socket Monarch for a Paladin, you can get Spirit a lot earlier with the Paladin, just in general, if you want to go caster build. So that's a good starting point, and it's actually pretty solid just in general. Of course, if you can put your hands on the Haas, you get the 2 extra combat skill points, plus the little higher resist and whatnot. So Haas is probably kind of the end goal for the FoH build, but Spirit definitely works here. So we're going to go ahead and end it here. We'll probably be running the FoH Pally a lot more. I also have a Throw Barbarian coming up the ranks. I should get it leveled up this weekend and into hell difficulty, so we'll probably be messing around with that as well. I'm kind of going for a Horker, but I want to do a throw build since they did update that in 2.4, and it's been a lot of fun so far. So be on the lookout for that, and we'll go ahead and leave it here for now. It's been a little while since I put some videos out, so we're going to start putting out some more content in that regard. And again, you can catch me on stream at least 3 days a week. We're shooting for 4, but you can always catch me on Discord as well. Again, all those links are in the description, but we'll go ahead and leave it here. You guys have a great day. Keep on farming.